Now more than ever, I think it's important to not only train a performer, but the ethos we have at Grad Acting is based on the artist citizen, right? So those are two very, I would say, important facets of our training, right? That we have a responsibility as artists. And the thing that I'm most interested in is what does that look like in the 21st century? For me, it's often we have these privileged positions where we parachute into different communities, whether that be on location, whether that be going to arena stage to do a brand new play. You are sitting down in a community. And for me, what the beauty of that is not just to be a spectator, but to be actively engaged with the community that you're creating this work in. And I think there's a responsibility in that I think sometimes we take for granted, quite honestly. We take a close look at what it means to be an artist citizen and the courage that it takes to hold those two identities together. It was started by Zelda Fitzchandler, and it is something that I'm deeply passionate about. This art that we create, it requires something of the community, and that's the special sauce. We spend a lot of time and are very thoughtful in talking to our students about the profound impact that an artist citizen and the responsibility they have when they are doing this beautiful art form. Embodying the Real came out of a brainstorming session with Jane Fujita and Faye Simpson. And we looked around the landscape and said, wow, you know, movies like Elvis are coming out, Ike and Tina in Tina the Musical. And what is that extra layer that an actor might have to prepare for while they create a role that is known to a lot of people, right? So I had the great privilege years ago of working on a play called One Night in Miami, and the premise surrounds four iconic black men: Jim Brown, Malcolm X, Cassius Clay, and Sam Cooke. And so one of the things that was valuable to me is to not create an imitation of these characters, that the audience are going to walk in and they have their preconceived notion of who these characters are. So Embodying the Real came out of this exploration about, like, what does one have to do to find the essence of these characters? Not a caricature, but finding the truth in the essence of these characters. It's a great class because we bring in the expertise not only from the acting point of view, but from the vocal point of view, and also the physicality of these iconic folks. A lot of our colleagues here are not only scholars and experts at what they do, but they are also in the field, practicing the best practices. And I think what really enhances that is that they come back to NYU Grad Acting and they bring the best practices coupled with their years of dedicated expertise and their concentration back to our students, right? So you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting a scholarly overview, but you're actually getting a person who is a practitioner in today's entertainment industry, or in the theater, or in film, or in television. You're getting the best of both worlds. So I think that is something that is so beautiful about our colleagues. We're in the heartbeat of it all. We're in New York City. So if you're talking about the stage, we're seeing the best and brightest on a day-to-day basis, whether it's going to Broadway, whether it's off Broadway, venturing out into the regional theater. We have folks who are practitioners in all of those areas. I do have the privilege of being a director who works nationally and internationally. And what I find is most rewarding to bring back to our students is to remember the power and the privileged place we are in to spend 3 years together honing our craft to be the best artist citizens that we can be. And to me, that is a position I hold in high regard. I'm tremendously humbled to work with the cohort of 16 every year that we bring into our community. And you know, my teacher would always say that do one, teach one, learn one philosophy. And that's something that has really resonated with me. So I do one by going out to Classical Theater of Harlem or the Public Theater and creating a show. I teach one by coming back to our students, right? And helping them navigate complex texts or building something or being mentor or supporting them. And then I learn one. And in my practice, I learn from our students. And so I think for me, that keeps me solid, not only as a practitioner, not only as an arts educator, but hopefully someone who will be their colleague in the future. As I look to the landscape of actor training for the 21st century, I'm excited to be at NYU Grad Acting because two of our hallmarks are going to be collaboration and innovation. And so collaborating in NYU Grad Acting looks like collaborating with the world-class NYU Grad Film program, right? Collaborating with the NYU Games department. I think clearly if you come out of NYU Grad Acting, the way the program was constructed to work at a repertory theater company, without a question, you're going to be able to do that. But looking forward in the 21st century, seeing how the landscape is shifting, we want to make sure that the actor is prepared for this new landscape. So that might look like collaborating with the Martin Scorsese Virtual Production Center. That's something that only we can offer here. And it's my deep desire to make sure when an actor goes off and does the new superhero movie and all the projection and animation is happening around them, they will have at least experienced that in a safe environment where they learn, they can ask questions, they can fumble around a little bit so that when they're actually ready in a professional setting, that they're more than capable and confident to do the best work that they want to put forward. What is instrumental in our curriculum as the actor progresses through is the use of the camera, right? So in year 2, we expose the actor from a varying degrees and vantage points of how to work with the camera. You learn not only to perform in front of the camera in year 2, but you also learn the vocabulary of what goes on behind the camera to make something in a holistic way. And I think that's super important. That will serve you not only if your interests take you into wanting to make films, but also in a more rudimentary way of self-tape, which is the norm nowadays. You have to know how to self-tape, so you have to have those practice reps of lighting, editing, splicing, sound. So in our year 2 curriculum, we've placed a special emphasis on making sure you have the vocabulary to not only be in front of the camera, but to know what goes on behind the camera. And I believe that will help you be the best collaborator you can. When you're working with a DP or a cinematographer, you know what they're after. The hallmark of an NYU grad actor is going to be based on a profound curiosity about the human condition, right? I think there's going to be a playfulness there that stems from this creativity. What if I do it this way? Ooh, what about if I experiment more with this? I think there's also a rigor there that to the unsuspecting eye might not be observed, but the true artists that we have the privilege of working with always are in pursuit of that truth. And that never-ending pursuit, I think, is one of the main factors in their success quite often, because I think those are the telltale signs of someone who will be successful in NYU grad acting. That curiosity, of course, a keen intellect to learn more and parachute into different worlds of whether it's August Wilson, Shakespeare, Chekhov, Annie Baker. There's a curiosity to drop into these worlds and try and absorb as much as they can. So I would say those are pretty much the hallmarks. And last but not least, they got to be good community members. They got to be genuinely embrace the ideal of ensemble. We're with the same 16 people for 3 years and for long hours. And so over the course of that time, we truly become like family. We experience the highs and lows of life. We experience love and loss and growth. And that takes a sensitivity and a commitment to being an upstanding citizen.